Welcome back to Transforming Relationships Through A Course in Miracles with Doc Quinns.
Hello.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks. You went out to see your dad in Georgia, and that was so wonderful.
It was so wonderful, so beautiful.
For you to be around family and friends, and I heard your dad taught you how to play pool.
Yes, and my dad taught me how to play pool.
How cool
on
is
his
that?
90th birthday.
How cool that
That's
a
really cool.
90-year-old father is still teaching his daughter
something new.
And like how to play pool.
Yeah,
He's got
exactly.
a new pool table, so that's so cool.
Yep. So, watch out.
No.
I need to go play some pool.
Don't play.
Come on.
Don't play Anna for dollars or per holes knocked in or balls knocked in.
That's right, exactly.
You might do a little pool hustling.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, we are just doing what we always do, where before class we did a random number generator prayer for what Spirit wanted us to learn in A Course in Miracles today.
For both you and for us.
That's right.
We always get, for those of you that say, this was just for me, you can't believe how many times at the end of our classes, we're like, can you believe that section came up? You know, like what you're going through in the present
exactly.
week. The course is a present help. You know what a present help is? That's a right now, what's practical and applicable that could help me now?
Right.
Spirit, guide, Holy Spirit.
What can help me now?
The voice of God.
I need some help now, not in the future.
Yeah, and then it shows up because you go looking for it and trusting that it will lead the way. You just let the book fall open as Spirit would have it. And just coincidentally, it's always what you needed to hear.
Spot on. Spooky.
It seems spooky, but after so long, Anna and I have been doing this for years now together, and it still hasn't changed. All that's changed is before I'd sit there like for a long time going, can you believe that? Read this. This is the exact words even that we were hearing this week. And then you're acting all freaked out. Now we just kind of laugh more.
Yes, exactly.
Because you realize you're not alone.
It's normal.
You're being guided. You've asked for guidance. And you get a demonstration of your guide at work. How does it go that you don't see Holy Spirit, but the works of Holy Spirit
is invisible, but you can see its effects.
Its effects, thank you. I have a walking Course in Miracles concordance. I just speak into it like Google, and it answers me back like Siri. What would you like to know?
I love it.
I'm Anna, the AI of A Course in Miracles. I get to do that all the time. For those of you who wouldn't guess, I'm like, what is that one part? And,
what's that one thing?
And then she'll go, I give her enough words, like enough spell check words that she goes, oh yeah, that one. And then she does the quote on it.
Yeah, that comes from recording it for years. Over and over and over, recording it and listening to it while I sleep.
You're what some of us call an accomplished master.
Oh, right on.
At what you do.
Well, you know that the 10,000 hours of something. You know the number of hours. You know, whatever it is. If you do at least 10,000 hours of it, you know you're pretty efficient at it.
You've mastered that. Yeah. Whatever arena that you're in.
And the Course in Miracles is so deep that I could have been studying it and teaching it for almost 40 years, and it's still every day like, blows my mind.
Yes.
Like it's a new thing every time. It's miraculous like that. It truly is.
We've heard the term, some of us at least have heard the term, the living word.
Yes,
you know, God is the living word. Right. Truth is the living word. Right. And that's why I think the Course so often, one of our Course Mighty Companions and I this week while Anna was in Georgia, had the honor of doing exactly the same thing. We did a random number generator together, and of course it came up exactly
like
what was
spooky.
going on in the lives of us, the readers, seeking what would you have us hear.
Right.
And it demonstrates that it's living, because it's applicable for what you're going through right now. When you go to, it's like being able to shake a ball and speaking into it. You're like, what do I need to know about right now?
So that I can have peace right now.
Or even just anything right now. Because a lot of times it will open up things that is going on, but you're not even thinking of it that way. You're like, oh, I've been thinking about this situation all wrong. Oh.
And that's why I was unhappy.
That's where a lot of this pain and attack, I'm doing it to myself. It always brings us around to, we're doing it to ourselves.
And awareness of the truth is the remedy. You know, when you're aware of what's true, you're like, oh, okay. And that is the remedy, because once you know the truth, you know.
The truth will set you free.
That's right, exactly. All right, so we have a very deep section.
Oh, yes.
That Spirit pulled up for us today, and Greg and I did most of it before class, just reading it over, and it was a trip, very deep section. And it's in chapter 30, section either 4 or 5, depending on which book you're in. So if you're in the blue book, it's going to be chapter 30, section 4. And if you are in the original edition, in whatever form that may be, it is chapter 30, section 5. The title, the original title, is The Toys of Fear. It's a crazy title. And then in the blue book, in the edited version, it's a different title. But it's, and Greg will look for it in a second.
And thank you, Irene. She already typed in.
Thanks.
Where we're at. She's man.
Irene,
you're on it, girl.
You're good.
Come on. Irene's in the house.
If ever there was a dream moderator, Irene would be my dream moderator.
Yes.
No doubt about it. If we ever needed one.
Luckily.
Well, we're
pretty good on what they call.
Truly, except for when I was doing YouTube Live.
Yeah, YouTube
because there was some crazy trolls or bots or something that literally in the middle I'd read it and I would be like, okay, let me come back. So
yeah, because you can be as crazy as you want when you're just saying whatever you want and nobody can see you.
Yes, exactly right. It's a cowardly way of attacking.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Well, you're never saying person to
right,
person.
Exactly. So anyway, having a miracle monitor would be a miracle. So.
And we have missed you.
But we don't really need one yet. Oh, right on. Thank you, Irene. Thanks for noticing that. It's been a while. Appreciate that.
Hey, Demi, how you?
Hi,
Demi. Good to see you.
Check the volume. Thank you. I think I will. Thank you very much.
Check the volume.
Yeah. And also, that reminds us, Greg, we need to get a microphone.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you, Demi. The volume was very low. All right. Okay, so Demi, let us know if that sounds a little bit better.
And Irene says that she agrees with us that she's learning more and more from A Course in Miracles book, deeper understanding than ever before.
Yes.
And I couldn't agree with
Us
you
too.
more than that.
Yeah.
It almost seems like I don't know if it's like are we entering? You know, the Course talks about the mighty companion having a season. Well, how long is a season? You know, how long is time? We don't know. We don't even know how time works.
Yeah.
But there's a season of time where the Course in Miracles, mighty companion, they rest and they gather together.
Before moving forward to the next phase.
Yeah, and I think the rest period is definitely a great taking in of learning stage. It's a learning period. And, you know, what did I learn from that situation? What did I learn from that? Why are these synchronicities happening? What's Spirit trying to tell me? And we gather all this, you know, armament. We recognize the ego now. I see you. You're trying to make me feel angry. I know where this thought's going. And we start recognizing the enemy, so we recognize the voice of love as well. And we're gathering and getting armed and going into deeper, as Irene says, deeper understanding. Some are like...
Yeah, like it talks about in the development of trust, where you go into a phase where you consolidate your learning. You're like, okay, what is it exactly I have learned? And you start integrating it and transferring it, you know, before you move on to what is next in your curriculum. You know, the phase of curriculum you'll move into, and all determined by your level of trust in what? In the truth. You know, how much do you trust the truth? Do you bring your problems to the truth? Do you use the practices that the Course in Miracles gives you? Do you apply these ideas to what you're going through? Your trust in the truth, trusting that the truth will correct all errors in your mind. If you'll just bring your error to the truth. So that's what we're developing trust in.
And learning what our errors are by the way we feel. Oh, okay, I'm in error.
Yeah. Like, for instance, in the Toys of Fear, crazy first line.
That's so funny. Fear has all these little toys. Oh,
Toys of Fear.
I have my little toys.
Yes.
Says Fear.
That's right. So, first line is, you will attack what does not satisfy. And when you attack what doesn't satisfy you, you will not see that you made up what's not satisfying you. If you attack what doesn't satisfy you. So that's the first thing that it wants us to know. Whatever it is that doesn't satisfy you, you will is underlined. You will attack. And when you attack what doesn't satisfy you, didn't satisfy me, and now I'm going to attack you, give you guilt. When you attack what doesn't satisfy you, you don't realize that you made that script up. You made that script up that could not satisfy you. So,
no, you did.
Right, you did. But when you attack what doesn't satisfy you, when somebody doesn't satisfy your script, and you attack them, you will not see that you made up the script that's now hurting you.
Yeah. So you set the limits on where your boundaries are to your happiness. Because if your script goes this far, then once it goes over that line, your script, then that's a boundary that I made for my happiness. Why would I set a boundary for my happiness?
Which is what script.
Which is what our script is. How silly.
Exactly. So it's like, this is what my happiness looks like. This is how it's going to happen.
Yep.
Here it is right here. And if you don't abide by that script for my happiness, then I will feel dissatisfied, and then I will attack. And then I won't see that I made up that script, which is an illusion. Any script I make up, this is what needs to happen for me to be happy. You need to act like this. That is an illusion.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Because
that's a fantasy.
It puts limit on the child of God's happiness. It puts a box around it. It goes, okay, I can't go outside of this.
Yes. And you're only upset when a script that you made up fails to satisfy you. And so you're always attacking an illusion you made up. You're attacking an illusion of happiness, an illusion of security, and an illusion of love. You know, that's what you're always fighting. Okay? The illusion of love and happiness that you made up.
Yeah. If it gets to the borderline, to the boundary of what you set up, now you have to do what? Attack to defend it.
Exactly.
You can't go past this one.
I have a script.
I've defined my happiness, my peace, my joy, whatever, my contentment, my safety at this line here.
Yes.
Don't cross it, world.
Yeah.
And then the
Or
world crosses
relationships.
it, and then what happens?
You feel dissatisfied. Something broke your script. They didn't go according to script. You don't feel satisfied. And then you attack.
They didn't stay within your limit.
That's right. Exactly. Now, usually the scripts that we make up for our happiness, we don't bother to tell other people what they, it's like we made up a script, you need to act like this for me to be happy, and if you don't, I'm going to be satisfied. We don't say to this person, I just want you to know, here's the script that I've made up for you, and I just want you to, are you good with that? Exactly. I'd like you to sign off on it. Is that good? We don't do that.
We don't do that.
No, we don't.
What we do is we put up an invisible shot collar fence. So when they get to the boundary, they go, oh. Now right. You know better, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Now you know. I love you.
Well, anybody with a normal mind would know you wouldn't go that far out.
Right.
The boundary.
Exactly. Everybody knows that you should not go past that
boundary. I shouldn't even have to say that.
I shouldn't have even had to tell you what my script was.
You shouldn't even have to be that stupid.
Yeah, that's what we do. Okay. So it says that you're always fighting fantasies. You're always fighting illusions. You're always fighting things that aren't even real, like the scripts you made up for your happiness. But the truth behind your scripts is so lovely and so still in loving gentleness. Were you aware of this truth behind your scripts, you would forget your scripts and you're attacking what doesn't satisfy you entirely, and you would rush to truth's embrace. You'd be like, screw those scripts.
Yeah.
I found something much better than that stupid old script that never made me happy anyway.
Yeah, my support, my safety comes from a much greater, broadband.
Yes, exactly.
Than that you said it before class we were reading, because I loved how you said, like, of course I can't remember the exact phrase, but you're like, our script is this narrow,
a bandwidth.
Yeah, a bandwidth of
appearances.
Yeah,
appearances.
This is how wide it can be, and the world needs to stay within this limit.
My relationships need to stay within that limit.
And so the child of God's acting this limited.
Yeah.
So whatever that expansion is, it's still limited.
And what's on the other side of that limited little bandwidth, called my scripts for happiness and security, is the truth.
Which is our safety.
Which if we were to experience the truth that's outside of our little scripts for safety and happiness, we would experience something so incredible, so amazing, so desirable, so beautiful, so fulfilling, that we would literally drop all our scripts like this, whoop, goodbye, and we would rush to join with and meet that truth. So there's our scripts, and then there's the truth of reality that's behind our scripts, that's blocking, and the scripts block our experience of the reality that would satisfy us completely.
This is what our script says to us. I believe in our subconscious, because we're not really so aware of it. But our script is speaking to us saying, hey, forget about the fact that you did not make yourself great. Let's just sit down at yourself for a moment and write out what would make you happy, you who didn't make yourself. And so now we're depending on a source that didn't even make me determine what would make me happy, and that's where the boundaries are created. And I don't know what would make me happy. I'm pretending to know something I don't know with those scripts. And my safety and my happiness comes in what Creator knows would make me happy, which is not the boundaries of my script. I believe that our ego probably has some hints of what would make us happy, and so definitely set some laws and roadblocks over there. Don't let them go that way. Because the ego's purpose, belief system, is at all costs that the child of God not be happy.
That's exactly
Has
right.
the exact opposite goal.
That's right. And that's why the ego, all it does, instead of experiencing the fully satisfying, ecstatic nature of reality and truth, the ego tells you, if that person were different, you'd be happy. The ego is all about the scripts, meaning the appearances that would make you happy. And so the ego does not want you to discover the wholly satisfying nature of reality and truth. And so the ego is like, hey, if you could get that person to be different, you'd be happy. You'd experience love. So the ego is all about the scripts. Right. That's all. And when you start moving away from your scripts and toward reality, the reality that we all share, our ego gets very anxious and then gets mean, like we do. When we get anxious, we get mean. So we're talking about, here's our scripts, like, this will make me safe. If you just act like this, I'll be safe. Okay, here's my script. There's that, and then there's the wholly satisfying nature of reality, which would really make you feel secure and safe, like you've never experienced before.
Wouldn't you say that an agreement with our script that we made that keeps us safe is an agreement with the ego? Yes,
exactly. That it is a script is a plan you've made with your ego for you to be safe.
Right.
You to be safe, not them, not everybody involved. You. Who cares about them? The ego is all about what you could do for yourself to make you feel safe.
Yeah, it tells you. You got to imagine in our world form like this being sitting next to you and going, listen, if we have X amount of money in the bank, then we'll be safe. And we're going to need that amount by the 26th of this month. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
And this is to keep us safe. And it'll probably happen, but if it doesn't, I don't know what the backup plan is. And that's why I say this would keep us safe. And then the 26th comes, and that doesn't happen, and now we don't feel safe because we put our safety not in Creator, knowing that Creator knows about us, Creator's aware of us, we're in Creator's heart, which means Creator's mind and Creator's thoughts, and because of all of that, we are in Creator's protection and Creator's safety net. And we're the ones that wander off the trail and go, well, Creator doesn't know about me. I'm all alone. I need to set up some guardrails.
I need to make myself safe.
Yeah, and get a helmet put on my head.
And I got to make a plan.
Yeah.
I need to make a plan for how I can feel safe because Creator's abandoned me. I really abandoned Creator, but I say that Creator abandoned me. And so now I need to make a plan. Okay, here you go. Here comes my plan. Okay, and my plan is that something besides me and my mind should change for me to be safe. That's my plan. Who would like to join me in my plan, which can only fail to make me feel safe? So every time we feel angry, it lets us know that we made a script about what would make us safe, and that script didn't get fulfilled. It didn't get satisfied.
Thanks for saying that, because that's another thing that was said before classroom reading. Whatever makes us angry. So if you didn't have a script, then when it went over the boundary, whatever was happening in this situation or circumstance, you wouldn't get angry because you don't have a script.
Yes, exactly.
The fact that we get angry is a total demonstration that we had a script that we expected to be fulfilled this way.
Yep.
The fact that I'm upset or experiencing anxiety or threat or I gotta defend myself this way, I'm expecting my script to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm upset.
And that is at the core of our unhappy relationships. It's like the conflict in our relationships. It's like, you know, in our relationships, how often do we feel dissatisfied? You know, a lot. You know, we feel dissatisfied a lot in our relationships. How much anger do we experience in our relationships? A lot. You know, and why? Because the basis of our relationships is I have a script for what makes me feel safe and secure, and I'm going to hold you to. I'm going to give you that script. I'm not going to tell you what that script is, but I'm going to give that to you and have an expectation that you fulfill that script so that I can feel safe. And then when you don't fulfill that script, because nobody can, then, you know, you feel dissatisfied. I didn't get my script satisfied. And so now I think that then now my attack is justified. Now my anger is justified. That is the basis of how we learn to do relationships. How insane is that? No wonder our divorce rate is like 65% if people even get married. Yeah. You know, so that's
if
why.
you even believe the statistics.
Right. And those are old statistics. I don't even know what they would be today. Yeah. Those are old statistics.
I think they stopped doing that. They just gave up on the numbers going, whatever.
And that's, you know, and that's, you know, that's what we call love. That's what we learn. It's like, okay, here's my script for what will make me feel safe and secure and feel loved. Here's, you know, this is it. Would you, and then the person goes, well, I love you, baby. Of course I'm going to fulfill that script, you know, because I love you, you know, and here's my script too. Oh, that's perfect. Match made in heaven. And then, you know, scripts can't be fulfilled. Right. Meaning no script can make you happy.
It's just like a script is
so
like
it's a setup. It's a total setup.
A script is just like what the world offers. The world itself offers us a script. And if we don't fulfill the world's script, it attacks us.
Yes, that's right.
That's what an unfulfilled script does. It simply attacks. Yeah. Why? Because it was not satisfied.
And a script is an illusion. It's an appearance that can never fulfill you or make you feel safe. You can't, safety doesn't come from, oh, my scripts were fulfilled, I feel so safe. You know, safety never comes from a script, from appearances, from an illusion. Right. And, but that is what we learned about love, you know, and if somebody's like, I'll fulfill your script, we're like, oh, you love me, oh, you love me, I love you too. You know, not realizing that love has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with that. Love is actually the release from scripts. That's what real love is.
And real trust.
And real trust, you know, and real love is based on trust.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't have real love without having trust. Yeah. If you don't trust the other person, you can just say, I don't love them.
There is no love without, that's what the Course says, there is no love without trust. Yeah. You can't say like, I don't trust you farther than I can follow you, but I love you. Yeah. Those don't go together. Those do not go together. Yeah. So it says, now it says the truth about you or the truth about that person that you're in a relationship with could never be attacked. So we only attack the scripts that didn't satisfy. But the truth of reality, of them, of you, the truth of the relationship, that can never be attacked. Because the truth of them and you and reality and your relationship is so loving and so beautiful and only wants good for you that you would never attack it. You would never think to attack it. It says, you know, the truth, the reality could never be attacked. And that the truth and reality of them and you could never be attacked. You knew when you made that script.
The Course calls it an idol. Yeah. And that's what our scripts are. And think about it.
Our scripts are idols.
Whatever boundaries we set to think that that's where our safety is.
That's our idol.
Is our idol. We worship that.
We worship our idols. Yeah. I mean, and we worship our scripts because our scripts are our idols. This will make me happy. This will make me secure. You know, that's your idol that you're worshiping, that script for what will make you safe and secure and happy. You know, and so it says, but our scripts, which are our idols, we made them so that the truth or reality might be forgotten. That's why we made those scripts. We said, truth and reality is so dissatisfying to me, and so I'm going to make up my own scripts. So we made up the scripts so that we would forget reality and the truth. That is the only thing that can ever make you feel satisfied and secure.
Now, one of our goals and objectives in A Course in Miracles is that the child of God remember who they are. So we have what? Forgotten. Mm-hmm. And here we're getting one of the keys to the kingdom, you could call it, to the mind, to our freedom, that to get back to reality, to heaven, to our right mind,
to happiness,
is to give up our scripts, because our scripts have been like this veil put up mm-hmm. that hides the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is our safety doesn't lie in what we set the boundary for our happiness and our safety. Mm-hmm. Our scripts. Our safety lies in
the truth.
In the truth.
In reality.
In reality.
Knowing the truth about yourself.
Not the goals and boundaries we set.
Right. Not the appearances.
The appearances.
Your real safety and sense of security and sense of worth and experience of love comes from knowing who you are, the truth about you, and the truth about reality, the truth about the universe. That's where a sense of security, if you know the truth about yourself, if you know the truth, then you have access to the real safety. It's only truth that keeps us safe and satisfied. It's only illusions, fantasies, and scripts that don't keep us safe, that make us feel even more endangered. Mm-hmm. So we made our scripts so that we would forget the wholly satisfying nature of our reality.
Yeah, that we can just rest.
That we can just exactly rest.
All this expansive of safety.
Yeah,
instead of this narrow version of what I deem to be safety, and when that's breached, I'm not satisfied.
And I will attack.
And I will, not maybe.
Will. Underline. The first line. You will attack.
When you're not satisfied.
What does not satisfy you.
And when you're not, what is the definition of not being satisfied? When your script
That's right.
is breached.
That's what it means.
We have a breach on aisle 3.
Call in the SWAT team. I mean, nowadays, if you call the police, it's like you get the freaking military, SWAT team,
with ramrods
exactly.
and helmets.
Look like RoboCop.
Yeah, you're like,
oh my God, I just called the police. I didn't mean to call robot squad, RoboCop squad. Yeah. Okay. But anyway,
on to other things.
On to other scripts. It's in other words, you only attack false ideas like scripts. Okay? You only attack scripts. You never attack truthful ideas. You only attack false ideas like scripts and fantasies. Like, if you would change, I'd be happy. You never attack reality. You never attack truthful thoughts. Mm-hmm. A truthful thought is like, hey, my happiness and satisfaction comes from knowing the truth about myself. Okay, that you never attack that idea.
You attack the false.
You only attack the false idea, which is the script, which goes, well, this needs to happen, and this needs to happen, and it needs to happen like that for me to be happy. So you only attack the false ideas or the fantasies, your scripts of what needs to be happen for you to be happy. And all idols or scripts are the false ideas you made to fill the gap you think arose between yourself and the truth.
Yeah, what is true?
And you attack those scripts that you put between you and the truth that would satisfy you. You attack these scripts for the things you think these scripts represent. So this script represents that I am not satisfied, and so now I'm endangered. we attack the scripts not being fulfilled because of what they represent, which is, if my script doesn't get filled, I don't feel secure.
I'm going to get hurt.
I'm endangered. That's what I think. That's what my scripts represent. My scripts represent the idea, the belief that if I don't get my way, I'm not safe. And that's what we feel like. It's so insane.
When yet God's script is this is your release somehow. This is your freedom somehow.
Yes.
This is your peace somehow.
Your script not getting met.
This is working out for you somehow.
Your script not getting met is really a good thing.
And your script is making you forget about truth. You can't see how this is working out.
Yeah.
Because you're focused, or you could say better that you're distracted. I'm distracted when I'm looking at my script. Now I can't see Creator's script.
And God's will for your happiness.
Yeah, because I'm too focused on an idol I made, which is the laws and bylaws, the homeowners association rules on what has to happen for what. I'm the president of the association here, to my satisfaction. And if it's not, well, we're going to have a meeting.
Yes, there's going to be some attack coming down.
Some fines.
Yes, exactly. Some kind of attack coming down. Now, holy cow, if you're going to attack someone every time someone or something doesn't fulfill your script of what it means to feel safe and happy for you, you're going to be angry a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to be angry a lot. Have you ever been called by somebody, yeah, you're kind of an angry person, or have you ever been with someone you're like, that's an angry person. That person's really angry a lot. I've noticed. And maybe somebody said that to you before, and we've all had that experience. That is somebody who's making a lot of scripts for what happiness and safety means to them.
Notice that's a good point. Really angry people, nobody is doing anything around them right.
Ever. And it truly...
That's why they're so angry, because they're totally annoyed by everybody around them messing up.
Yes.
And you can only mess up when the person had a script that they seek for you to fulfill, and they didn't, so that's why the upset.
Yeah.
And that's a great point that you make, and the really angry, that's true. Nobody's fulfilling their script.
Exactly.
And so the degree of your anger is the degree of how many people you have put scripts on. Or how many people, how many situations, not even people. Yeah. This situation at work better work out to my script. Yeah. Because if it don't, I don't get that pay raise.
I'm going to be angry.
I'm going to be angry
and I will attack.
It didn't fulfill my script. And what's the purpose of all ego scripts? That's why I said earlier, it's listening to a script that the ego made. The whole agenda of our egos that we made was to take our peace away, because we don't think we deserve or worthy of having peace. We deserve punishment. After all, we left God. We failed Creator.
Well, that's a deeper unconscious reason.
So we're trying to punish ourselves, and part of the way we're doing it, the mechanisms that we're using, it's nice that the Course is calling it the toys. Yeah. But there's a toys of what? Fear.
Yeah. The toys of pain.
The toys of fear. If you want to experience fear,
pain,
set up some boundaries.
Set some scripts up.
Yeah, put some hardcore boundaries.
And don't tell the person that of the script you gave them.
Nope. Just set time, little landmines for them to step on as they get close to those boundaries that blow their legs off, spiritually speaking.
Exactly. That's what we do in our relationships. We set up, every time you set up a script in your relationship, you are literally setting up a landmine that your partner or the people you're in a relationship with don't know about, because you didn't tell them, hey, I just set this script up here for you. I just want you to know. So you don't tell them. So now they're just like, and they're like, and their limbs go flying, You know, and they're like, what happened? You know, and you're like, you stepped on one of my scripts. You didn't fulfill one of my scripts. I didn't even know you had a script. Well, you should. That's what we do in our relationships. And so in our relationships, we are dissatisfied and angry a lot, you know? But the truth of who they really are and the truth of who you really are, who doesn't need any freaking scripts, would always satisfy you, would always make you feel safe. Okay. So that was one paragraph. All that we just talked about was one paragraph.
And I noticed that, and that's okay. I just kept going like Spirit holding my hand going, great.
It's all right. Just
let
okay.
Not your script be fulfilled, that we need to read at a certain pace that you deem as the proper pace of reading.
So many paragraphs that you deem.
And that I can only channel through you, the two of you, as the script you're allowing me to channel. But it's okay.
Baby steps.
Just remember
Baby
that
steps.
part you were talking about, and of course today said, but you're still just a baby.
You're still a learner.
You're just a little baby.
I'm not a little baby.
What do we do with our little 1-year-old?
Little puppy.
We take and scratch it behind the ears.
Hey,
my little baby.
You're a little crazy baby.
My little baby. You have all these boundaries that you set.
Exactly.
These little toys that you make.
And so, you know, the title again is The Toys of Fear. That's the original title. And so the toys of fear here, which it's going on to say, are all the scripts that we make, like, ooh, if they just be like this, and if they just look like this, and if they just be like this, ooh, then I'll be happy. You know, so all of our scripts are toys that we're making, you know, children's toys that we're making. Like when you see little kids, remember that you have dolls, and you're like, when you're a little kid and you have dolls, you're like, oh, and this doll is doing this, and this doll is saying this. That's what a script is. It's like this, you know, it's a toy that we're making up, like, oh, if this doll says this and this, that, when we're playing house, then it'll be fun. We'll be happy. So the scripts that we make are these toys that we are playing with, playing make-believe with. If you were different, I'd be happy. Okay? The scripts are the toys that we've made up, our fantasies for what would make us happy. And, you know, and that is what hurts us.
And don't forget, what's another agenda we've been taught through A Course in Miracles, that the ego wants to be God. So what does God do? God's the author and finisher of our script. God writes, is the director, because God's the creator. God is creator's source.
Reality.
Reality. Without God, you don't have reality. Without God, we call it God, but God is creator's source. The
source of truth.
The source of creation, what brings forth reality and truth. Without that source, you don't have absolute truth. You don't have absolute reality. And if you don't have absolute, you have nothing. There's not an in-between where you have part truth or part reality. No, you have nothing. You either have all of the everything, or you have completely nothing. Those are our choices.
And only reality can satisfy, and only the reality, the truth of you and them and everything, only that can make you feel secure. That's the only thing that can make you feel secure, not any of the little plans and scripts that you make up. And if this happens, I'll feel safe and happy. You know, only truth and only reality can satisfy you and make you feel, help you feel secure and safe. You know, not all the like, well, if this would happen, I'll feel safe. If this would happen, I'd be happy. If this would happen, I'd feel secure.
Plain like we are the creator.
Exactly, like little kids do.
Like we're imagining we're the creator.
Yes.
This is how it has to go.
Like little kids playing house.
Everything be safe and happy and joyous. If it goes this
like
way,
this.
I'm the conductor here. And the flute section, you're way out of accord with my will.
My plan, exactly. And just like little kids, when we were little kids and we were playing, we're like, okay, I'm now going to create the world that, my fantasy, and you'll be the mom, you'll be the dad, you'll be the baby, you'll be the dog. Okay, everybody take your places.
Yeah.
And then if somebody doesn't take their part in our script, that I remember playing with my best friend, my little best girlfriend, Adina, when we were kids, and we were like, okay, we're gonna put on a show, and we're gonna do the show. And,
what was the show?
And I don't remember the show, but and it was like, okay, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that. And then, somebody was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to play that part. And then my friend goes, well, then go home. And I was like, but it's dark. It's late. Go home if you're not going to play the part. And I was like, I had to go. I had to walk home. It was a whole street over, But that's what we do.
That's a good example. You didn't fulfill my script.
Exactly.
You didn't play the way I wanted to play.
And so I had to go home.
So go home.
I was
Leave my
out.
room.
Exactly.
Leave my house.
Exactly. You're not gonna play the
So
part.
I call my dad.
Go home.
And tell him you're being mean.
I'm still doing that to this day.
Mine was of all things that you could possibly do with my cousin, one of my cousins, was we'd play Bob Barker and The Price is Right. We'd set up these 4 boxes, and one of us would run up to the panels and act all goofy and go, $4.25, Bob. And you'd read off prices, and you'd do things like, loser, you have to stick to the next round, clown. It's like how we would be Bob Barker, which of course would be totally rude and pathetic and unrealistic. But we get to be the creators now of the show.
And
that's what the ego wants to do, is be the creator of the show.
Exactly.
And he does it through the children of God by setting boundaries.
Yes.
Set these boundaries, these rules, these blow-up toys that you made, and you'll be safe.
Exactly.
And then we go, hey, that's right, let us play God. I love how you demonstrate little kids, playing pretend. You didn't play it right, go home.
That's what really happened. I was like, but it's late and it's dark, and I live a street over. It's like,
I don't care.
I don't care if you died. you wouldn't play the part I gave you. Go home. I'm like, well, the dog might attack me.
That's
Too
exactly
bad.
how we do it.
And that is exactly what happened one day when I had to go home. I was walking home and a dog did actually attack me. But that's what we do, and that's why the name of the section is The Toys of Fear, because that's how children play. That's how children who lack knowledge, that's what they do. They make up scripts. This will be fun. This will make me happy. You be that. You be the daddy. You be the mommy. You be the blah, blah, blah. And they go, and then, that's what children do. They make up fantasies and make believe, thinking that it will satisfy them.
I'm going to do the concordant thing again, but there's a part in the course that talks about little children playing with scissors.
Yes.
And the scissors, in this respect, is those boundaries that we create.
Our scripts. The scissors are our scripts.
Yeah. And they're like the course says, the scissors, you want to take those away from the child because they can hurt playing with these sharp scissors.
That's
They're
right.
little tiny kids. They can run and trip on them. They can do all kinds of them.
Put their eye out.
Everything. Cut themselves. Whatever.
Give themselves a bad haircut.
Yeah, they're not at the age where they can handle that.
Scissors.
And so the boundaries, the scissors are that can cut us. Are our determination of setting this. For me to be happy, this is how
it has to go.
It has to go.
You have to play the this, and you have to play the that, and you have to play the this, and play it good.
And then, of course, what do the scissors do when the boundaries get broke? It cuts us. We feel hurt about that situation.
Yes, exactly. Like
we're
we were
not
saying,
happy and we're not joyful. That's for sure.
Like we were saying, you can only be hurt if you have a script.
Right.
You can only be hurt if you don't have a script and you're like, I just want what reality wants from me.
Yeah,
reality, what do you say?
I just trust the Creator that all things
creation.
are working out for my good.
Exactly.
That's the truth. The truth is somehow this is in my best
That's
interest.
exactly right.
The truth is
that's right.
This or something better.
And the truth is that the nature of reality is that it is wholly satisfying. That's the truth. And so only the truth can't hurt you, but only your scripts can hurt you. So if you're angry or you feel hurt or betrayed or abandoned or any negative emotion, you know that you made up a script and it didn't get satisfied, and now you feel angry because you feel endangered. But then it goes on to say, but the thing you need to remember when that happens is that I feel endangered, I don't feel safe because my script didn't get fulfilled, but the truth is that I am not endangered, and that's what it says in here. When your script your script breaks your rules for happiness and safety, you need to say to yourself, I am not endangered, because that script is never what would make me safe anyway.
Right.
You need to say, yes, the rules for my script got broken, but that does not mean I am in danger. You know, you have to remind yourself of that, because our fantasy and delusion, our children's make-believe is, if this happens, I'll be happy and I'll be safe. So you have to tell yourself, I'm upset and angry and I feel endangered because my script didn't get fulfilled, but that doesn't mean that I'm now endangered.
Right.
You know, the truth about me and the truth about everything, reality, is what really makes me feel safe, not if they behave like that.
Yeah, the Course talks about quite often about looking beyond perception.
And looking beyond appearances.
Because, appearances and perception are the obstacles that are keeping us from seeing the truth. Mm-hmm. They're blocking it because it's limiting our vision, because this obstacle of it has to be this way, or what, my script is now, once it hits there, I'm totally stuck on that. I can't see beyond that. Can't see that, this was actually going in a totally favorable way for me. And because I had those walls up, I totally missed it.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it because I took a U-turn, an exit at my script of grievance. Now I was in a land of grievance, upset. And when that happened, I started manifesting that, because now that's what I'm pushing out to the universe is grievances, because, my breach in the wall that I set up has been broken. And so now the next step is what is talked about, you will attack. You're going to attack because you're going to have a grievance.
Because you're frightened, because now you feel endangered.
A grievance is an attack.
And, we think our scripts will make us feel safe. But the truth is that no script or appearance of safety can really make you feel safe. So every script you make is bound to be broken, to not be satisfied. And then you will see that as further proof that you are endangered. But it never was that script that would make you feel safe. And so eventually you'll be like, my scripts for what makes me feel safe and loved never made me feel safe and loved. It made me feel unsafe and unloved. But there is something else I could turn to besides making another script. It's like when we feel unsafe and unloved, we're like, I need to make another script that will help me to feel safe. The truth is that we don't need scripts to make us feel safe. What we need is the truth about who we are, as established and created by our Creator. And so, we go from like, I need to make a better script, and you need to fulfill that script, to what is the truth about me, love, you who created me, love, so that I can feel truly safe and secure. All right.
All right, baby.
Okay, so now we're in paragraph 2. Wow. Well, we definitely did paragraph 1.
We did.
Okay. The wearying, dissatisfying scripts, idols, that you made up, they are just blown up children's toys.
God, or we're being told here that our scripts are called gods.
Yes, idols.
And you should have no other gods before me.
Mm-hmm.
You should have no other scripts before me.
Yes.
This isn't about your creation.
Yes.
This is about Creator's creation.
Yes.
And
Reality.
we're standing in the way of Creator's creation with our creation.
Yeah.
We're running across
Our
the
idols.
stage going, and Creator's like, what is he doing? Oh, he's putting a desk and a ladder over there. He thinks it would be better if it was written this way. Creator's like, really?
Yeah, really?
My creation is trying to
Tell
create
me.
my creation
Mm-hmm.
better than I'm creating it.
Yes.
And my creation came from
Yeah.
my creation.
My creations who thought it'd be a smart idea to leave me,
Yeah.
the source and creator of the universe.
And make their own creation.
Yeah, they thought that that would be smart.
As if it would be better than
What I
Creator's
already
creation.
What I already created for
As
them.
if it would be some thought would be a better thought that Creator hadn't already thought of.
According to A Course in Miracles, our Creator's will for us is that we have everything that our Creator has and is. You know, and it's like, I just want you to be and have everything that I
Right.
am. That's our Creator's will for us. And we are like, I think I could do better for myself than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
All
gonna
right.
and it's going to start Creator with some boundaries.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How about Sundays from 11 to 12:30? Second service.
Yes.
How does that work?
Yeah.
For you?
God's like, whatever you say, my child. Whatever you say, my child. Just know that I
you
love
make your boundaries
you.
for what to keep you safe.
And your boundaries, make all your boundaries that you want. It cannot keep my love for you out. So, so, you know, go on.
I like the starting of that paragraph. It's perfect
Yes.
for who we are. It's like another name for us. Those that set up our own scripts.
Yes. The wearying, dissatisfying scripts that you made up, they are blown up children's toys. And yes, a child is frightened when a wooden head springs up as a closed box is opened suddenly. Or a child is frightened when a soft and silent woolly bear begins to squeak as the child takes hold of it. Why? Because the rules the child made up for their boxes and their bears have failed that child, which means the rules the child made up for the boxes and the bears have broken the child's control of what surrounds the child, and now the child is afraid. Because the child thought that the rules for the bears and the boxes protected that child. But now the child must learn that the boxes and the bears did not deceive that child. The boxes and the bears broke no rules, and nor it doesn't mean that the child's world is made chaotic and unsafe when the boxes and the bears and the rules the child made up for the boxes and the bears were broken. Doesn't mean the child is unsafe. Just because the child is like, oh, you know,
wasn't aware that the toy could squeak.
Exactly.
And then it did something that it wasn't expecting.
Or the head could pop out. The
Right.
child wasn't aware that the head of that box could pop out, or that the silent woolly bear could squeak when the child hugs the bear. The child didn't know that, but the child had made rules for the boxes and the bears. The child, in the child's mind, was like, that box is safe as long as no wooden head pops out. That bear, that soft, silent, woolly bear is safe as long as it doesn't squeak. The child makes up rules for their toys. The child makes up rules for their toys that the child thinks makes the child safe.
Like we set up rules in a practical sense of,
For our relationships.
if I don't have any surprising bills that come in this month, we'll make it. We'll
Yeah,
be
we'll
safe.
be
Everything
safe.
will be cool.
We'll be safe.
We gotta know.
As long as we don't get any unexpected bills,
unexpected,
we'll be safe.
Like, things come up.
Mm-hmm.
And then that unexpected thing does come up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a conversation about this, but in our mind we do.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling us these things that keep us
Yes,
safe.
right.
And then 3 weeks into the month, that very thing happens, an unexpected surprise bill, whatever comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're upset, we're angry,
because
we're short-tempered.
Because the rules we set for that thing have been broken.
Yeah, the
Appear
head popped out. Here you go.
Exactly.
You're like, my rules have been broken. My script is broke. Now what?
Exactly.
Now what?
And now we feel endangered.
Yeah.
Like you said. When unexpectedly we get a bill in the mail or a summons in the mail, all of a sudden our rules for safety have been broken, and now we feel endangered. We go, oh, now I'm not safe. Now I'm endangered. Well, the truth is that your safety your safety never had anything to do with any bills that came or didn't come unexpectedly or what.
That's a lie and illusion.
That was the illusion. That was the idol that you were worshiping. As long as I don't get such and such a bill, or as long as my bills stay like this consistently, I'll be safe. That's a rule you set.
That was a false god. A false god
yes.
is an image that we made that is a lie.
Yes.
And this false god that if this happens, you'll be safe. And
every script represents a lie that you have been believing and telling yourself that if this happens, I'll be safe. Or if this doesn't happen, I'll be safe. That's what a script is. It's a lie for this is what needs to happen for me to be safe, and if this doesn't happen, then I'm not safe.
Right.
And now I am dissatisfied, I don't feel safe, and now I will attack.
Right.
Okay. So it says, now must the child learn that the boxes and the bears did not deceive the child. The boxes and the bears broke no rules, and the boxes and the bears acting like the child wasn't expecting does not mean that the child's world is made chaotic and unsafe. The child must learn that. Oh, just because something happened that I wasn't expecting doesn't mean I'm not safe.
Right.
We all need to learn that. Just because the rules for what I thought would make me feel safe were broken does not mean I am not safe.
Right.
Just because you're like, oh, I decided that if I don't get an unexpected bill, I'm safe, doesn't mean that you're unsafe. Just because you got a bill that you weren't expecting.
So this is definitely one of those hard to remember.
Hard to accept and believe.
We can't remember, like today I was telling Anna, well, I don't need to write down the titles of those 2 movies that guy said. I can remember The Fallen Man, and I'll tell her the reason how I'll remember it. But we fool ourselves if we don't write it down, we don't remember it. And you don't need to necessarily write it down, but we do in our awareness that the next time that we're what? Upset.
Feeling upset, dissatisfied, angry,
unsafe,
endangered.
I need to defend myself, protect myself, what's going on.
Come up with a new plan.
Then we have to tell ourselves what you literally just said.
Exactly. That my safety and my security never came from the rules that I set for what it means to feel safe and secure. Right. All day long we're like, this is what I need to feel safe and secure. I need you to act like this. I need this to happen like this. I need not to get bills from IRS after we paid and already paid. I need this to happen and that to happen. And when that doesn't happen, which it won't, because no script, no appearances can ever make you safe, even if that script seems to have been fulfilled. It can still never make you feel safe. You're still going to be feeling unsafe.
The more rules. Scripts that we have, rules, in order for us to be satisfied
and feel safe,
are literally like landmines. Every single one that we make This has to be, you need to be home by 8 o'clock for me to feel safe.
You need to not act like
You
this.
said you're going to be home by 6, but you didn't even call and say nothing. You came home at 8.
Oh my God.
Hey there.
Hey there.
You should have at least called to make me feel safe.
That was my rules for what makes me feel safe.
Because you didn't, now what? I don't feel safe, therefore I'm going to attack.
There you go.
And now I'm attacking you as you come through the door. Why? Because you didn't fulfill my script. Because I put the burden on you of making sure me, the creator, God, source, is protected and safe.
Right.
I put that burden on you, the light created like me, to make sure that I, your equal, am safe.
Yes.
When both of our safety comes from the same source.
Not our rules.
Right. Not your rules or
not
my
our
rules.
Scripts.
Not
our
your
rules
scripts
are our
nor
scripts.
my script.
Yes, right.
When I was, really going through the transition, and I could say the course, like it talks about, for some of us at the beginning of A Course in Miracles as teachers of God, it's almost like a violent storm comes in.
It's like, exactly.
A real shaking.
A real shakedown.
It is dealing with all your scripts. And the more scripts you got, the more walls you got to come down.
Yes, right.
And I had a lot of scripts.
Yeah.
And boy, it was like a tornado for a while because I didn't want to give up my scripts.
For what makes you safe.
I believed in those gods. Those gods were righteous.
You were certain they would make you safe.
They were certain, and as those came down, every time you'd freak out, but you'd have to be forced in a way to trust in your Creator more than ever before because that wall's been breached. And you're committed more to trusting in this new path of trusting your guide than you are in your guidance. In your scripts.
As you go, at the beginning in your journey in A Course in Miracles, it's at the beginning. It's like all your scripts, boom, 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 broken, and that seems chaotic and frightening. Boy. Really frightening. It's like I thought that I would be safe if my partner did da 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 and didn't do such. And as your script is broken, you feel endangered, chaotic, and afraid. And
but you've told Spirit you want to join Spirit, and Spirit agreed and jumped into your relationship immediately. And Spirit's like, okay, we got to break these scripts.
Spirit's like, well, how about if I showed you a way to feel safe and secure that has nothing to do with and doesn't depend on others and whether others agree? How about, would you like to experience a sense of safety and security that has nothing to do with your partner? How about that?
Right.
That's what A Course in Miracles offers, and you're like,
Yeah, even if they did what you were afraid they would do, that you would still be joyful.
Exactly.
You'd be celebrating, actually.
Exactly.
And you'd be like, celebrating?
Yeah,
instead of being in sorrow and full of bitterness and hate.
And calling a lawyer.
I could be doing the opposite and actually celebrating. Yeah, those are your choices. You won't be celebrating if you set up limits. You set up your script. Because you won't understand when the circumstance is happening. Why it's happening. It's always for your release. It's always for your benefit.
It is.
It doesn't matter that you cannot see it that way. You can't see it that way because your script is blinding you from seeing what's really going on.
What would really make you happy.
The whole picture.
What would really make you happy.
The whole of the matter. What's really going on.
It's not until your scripts fail, which they always will, it's not until then that you even are motivated to go, well, is having somebody act in such a way really what makes me feel safe and makes me feel happy and loved? Until your script is broken, it would never occur to you to ask, I wonder if that is really what makes me feel safe and loved. But you never ask that question until your script is broken. You know, and so the truth is that when our scripts are broken, we're like, I'm so endangered, I'm so unloved, oh my God, how could they reject me like that? You know, when the truth is that when your scripts are broken, you now have the opportunity, and you are now even moving closer to what really would make you feel safe and secure and loved. So, you know, it's like but the Course says that what is the sweetest music to your true self is a death sentence to your ego. You know, so we're like, oh, the script was broken, they've been betrayed and abandoned, and I'm unsafe. It's the worst thing ever. Your higher self is like, all right, here we go. Another, you know, we're making our way to the real world. We're making our way to where she really accepts what really makes her feel safe and secure and loved. You know, that isn't dependent on other people. What about that? All right. So we were saying that, so we didn't even start paragraph 3.
We've been mistaken because...
we were mistaken.
We think because that everything's chaotic and unsafe because our script was broken, but we were only mistaken.
Yeah, it says, now we must learn that the boxes and the bears did not deceive us. Our scripts broke no rules. And just because our scripts were broken does not mean that our world is made chaotic and unsafe, because we were mistaken about what made us safe. We misunderstood what made us safe, and we thought that what made us safe had left. Only to realize that, no, the thing that was endangering you left. The thing that was endangering me left. That's what we realized later.
Right.
Yeah. That,
when we get correct perception.
Exactly. So it's 8:25. Maybe we should start back.
We started pretty late.
Oh, when did we start? Okay.
It was a good 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. So then we'll go to paragraph 3.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a trooper.
All right.
That's fulfilling my script.
Oh, good. Thank God. Okay. It says, the gap that you now perceive between you and what makes you really feel safe, the gap between you and truth that makes you feel really safe, the gap that is not there between you and truth is filled with scripts and toys and idols in countless forms. So what the gap between you and happiness and feeling really safe, no matter what, is filled with toys in countless forms. Okay? And what is it? And each one of your scripts will seem to break the rules you set for that script. That's the nature of the script.
Right.
You know. That's the nature of the script.
It's the purpose of it. That's why I said they're landmines.
That's right. Exactly. They're landmines. The purpose of a script is to be a landmine.
And I love how it's taking it even deeper and further, showing us that, and in addition, what your script does, first, it hides the truth of where your safety really lies, because you thought your safety lied in this happening. But the truth is, your safety goes way beyond that. That's not the boundary of your safety.
Yep.
And I like how it redefines in paragraph 3 that our scripts create gaps. There's a void now
between us and reality.
Between the wall that we set up, which was a fictional, fake, false god, a script
idol
that we're worshiping that has to happen that way.
Gotta happen that way. It's gotta happen that way. An idol.
But our safety, our true God that's not false, our safety is unlimited. It goes way out there, beyond what we could imagine in our little imagination. But it creates a gap from reality and fiction. There's this void what the course calls the
gap.
The something, the barren land,
the desert,
whatever. But anyway, they have a name for it. It's borderland.
Okay.
The borderland.
Very good. Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
The
you
borderland.
get extra points for that.
The borderland is the gap.
Exactly. So the gap between you and feeling truly safe because of your truth, that gap between you and that truth and that satisfaction is filled with scripts in countless forms. And just so you know, each script will seem to break the rules you set for that script. Yeah. That's the nature of a script. Okay. Now, that script that you have for them never was the thing you thought.
Right.
Okay. You thought that script was like, well, if that would just happen, if they would just do it like that, I'd be happy and I feel safe. But no, the script you had for them and that was never the thing you thought. And that's why your scripts must appear to break your rules for safety. Since your rules for safety are wrong, by the way.
Yeah. Hint, hint.
Yeah, your rules for safety, you have to act like this, and this has to happen like this, and it has to happen in this timing, and this place, and this way, for me to feel safe and loved.
They're not even true.
Those rules for safety were wrong. Yeah. Are wrong.
And that shows us how much we worship them because that's how certain we are that I have to have this much money in the bank to be safe. And if I don't, I'm not safe.
Exactly.
But that's a rule. And then when it goes below that, what happens? Now I'm getting anxious. I'm getting upset.
I feel endangered.
I feel endangered.
I feel dissatisfied.
I'm not satisfied.
And then
my joy and happiness is being taken away.
And then I will attack.
My peace is being taken away. When you don't have peace, what's left? Attack.
Yes. But even though the rules you made for your safety are wrong, guess what? You are not endangered. Just because the script that you made for your safety is that wrong, that will not make you feel safe, and the rules for safety will be broken, and your rules for safety were wrong, you are still not endangered. So you still don't need to be afraid. Oh, the rules for what I thought would make me safe and happy have been completely broken, but I am not endangered. Right. Because what I thought would make me feel safe was wrong. That's not where real safety comes from. That's not where real security comes from. Real security does not come from everybody acting out your script.
Yeah, when my demands are met.
When my demands are met, I'm safe. When my script for what makes me feel safe is acted out, I'm safe. That was wrong.
Or I'll be happy.
Or I'll be happy. Exactly. Or I'll experience love. You know, your rules for safety and love and satisfaction are wrong. And, and your rules for safety and satisfaction and love will be broken because they are an illusion. That is not how you experience safety and love. So when they are broken, just remember, you are not endangered. Just because your rules for safety and love have been broken does not mean you are not loved or you are unsafe.
And partly, I know this will be hard to do because I'm saying it to myself, is when my rule's been broken, is to say, I don't need to know how, but I do need to know that I'm wrong.
Yeah. About the rules for safety and love.
I set this rule because it's upsetting me.
Yeah.
Or I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, my peace is being robbed.
I feel unsafe.
When all those attributes, any of those attributes come up in us, then we need but say to ourselves, just admit, the rule that I made for me to experience my peace that I thought would have made me happy was wrong.
Yes.
And just the admitting that, you know, is a step in the healing direction.
Yeah. And to say, my plan for how to feel safe and loved was wrong, and then say, but I am not endangered.
Right.
You know, I'm still lovable, I'm still loved, I'm still safe. Just because I had a script that person would stay with me forever, and that script did not happen. They left. just because my rules, my script for safety and happiness did not work out, does not mean that I am endangered. It doesn't mean that I'm unlovable. You know, that's what you have to tell yourself. My rules for what made me feel safe and secure were wrong. That is not what it takes to feel safe and secure. What it takes to feel safe and secure and loved is knowing the truth about yourself and knowing the truth about reality. That's what makes you feel safe and secure and loved. Not if they act like this and they stay and they don't, you know, and they do this and they do that and they don't do this and they don't do that. That is not what makes you feel truly safe and loved. Your rules for safety and love are wrong. Be glad, because have they made you happy? Have they worked? Or has every time you've given a script to somebody about your safety and your happiness that they broke it? And then you were angry, you felt dissatisfied, and then you attacked them. No. So be glad that your rules for safety and love are wrong. And that means that now you can experience and learn what it is that truly does make a soul feel safe and loved. And it has nothing to do with their behavior, by the way. It has everything to do with knowing the nature of reality, your reality. All right.
I love this part because what's one of our problems? The child of God has forgotten to laugh.
Exactly.
And we're told here,
you can laugh at popping heads and squeaking toys, as does the child who learns that the popping heads and squeaking toys are no threat to that child. When the child learns that that's what the box does, you know, the Joker pops out. Oh,
that's what the world does. It gives you
popping heads and squeaking toys.
Yeah, it gives you surprising bills.
That's right. That's what the world does.
Anna and I were reading this last week, and we were really realizing from the Course, the world we made was literally made to punish us, because that's what we believe we deserve.
To surprise us.
Yeah.
Unhappily.
And so then the world does exactly what it was made for. It just, you know, it's like a car actually running when you started and going, I can't believe it's doing what it was made to do. It did exactly what it was, and now taking us from point A to point B. Doing exactly what it was made to do. The world's doing exactly what it was made to do by us collectively to punish us. And then it sends us that surprise bill and stuff. But our Creator is so loving and so kind. It honored our makings, this world,
our miscreations,
and took that world and, as we've heard before, took what was made for bad and turned it in for God's glory, which is God's good. And so now, the boundaries and everything we made for bad, if we let go of them, we can see beyond them and see how things are made for good. Always.
Absolutely.
Everything's always working out for good, because good is all there is.
I could honestly say, look back at the times in my life where my script for happiness and love and safety was broken.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that was the end of the world for me. And I was so angry and I was so hurt. I felt so betrayed. and I felt so angry, and I definitely attacked. And now I look back and go, if that had not happened, I would not be here right now.
Right. I wouldn't be experiencing whatever.
If my script had been fulfilled, if my script had not been broken by that person who I was so hurt and betrayed by, if they had not broken my script, what I called betraying, my script, and hurt me, then literally I would not be sitting here right now with you, my beloved, in this beautiful place. So I thought that when my script didn't get fulfilled, it was the end of the world. When what I didn't see was that was the beginning of my happy dream.
Your freedom.
And so every time your script is unfulfilled and you feel dissatisfied, if you attack the person, you know, who you like, you didn't fulfill you broke my script, and you attack that person, you are literally keeping from you God's plan for your happiness, which you could never even dream of in your happiest dreams. You know, so, you know, that's the thing that we want now, seeing that when things don't go our way and we're tempted to attack that person or ourselves, Course in Miracles is teaching us, you know, the truth is that when your scripts don't get fulfilled, that's actually a good thing.
Right.
That's going to enable you to accept God's plan for your happiness, which cannot fail. God who really knows what makes you happy. You don't.
Right.
You know, but every time a script of yours gets broken and you attack that person, you are literally delaying what God, who knows what makes you happy, you're delaying its plan for you. Like truly, if I had truly attacked that person who did not fulfill my script, and made it where I didn't let go of that script, you and I would not be sitting here right now.
Sure.
You know?
And what you just said is what you just read basically is a child who's learned.
Yes.
Learning is a process.
Yes.
They learn that these scripts that were broken
are no threat.
Were no threat to them.
Yes.
They learned it because of, like you said,
Yeah,
you look back and you go,
yes.
oh,
that's how you learned
now I see, because
Yes.
that happened, I ended up moving there.
Exactly.
Because I moved over there, I met that person.
Exactly.
Because I met that person, I made this connection.
Yes, exactly.
And
now I have this awesome life.
We don't realize how Spirit is trying to do what we ask Spirit to do, to guide us.
Yes.
And as Spirit's guiding, we're like, wait, Spirit, I know I asked you to guide me, but I had kind of a roadmap.
I kind of had a script going.
The roadmap is my script. I had a kind of a roadmap I wanted you to guide us down.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. We're bringing our scripts to Holy Spirit and to God to be like, here's my script. Like, can you make it happen?
Yeah.
You know,
I want you to guide me, but would you turn right here at the stop sign?
Exactly. Right. That's exactly right. And the Course in Miracles says that when it says the child of God can laugh at popping heads and squeaking toys, you can laugh at things that don't go your way.
Right.
Just like the child who learns that the popping heads and squeaking toys are no threat to him. So in other words, you can learn to laugh at the things that don't go your way, realizing they're not a threat to you. Exactly. And the Course in Miracles says that at every unexpected change that happens, where you're tempted to be scared and feel endangered and feel angry and feel betrayed and judged and attack, if you were to say to yourself the truth, somehow this is in my own best interest, I don't know my own best interest, somehow this is helpful, somehow this is in my own best interest, all changes are helpful. If you could say that to yourself in the midst of those changes where your scripts were broken and you're tempted to attack, then you would literally be able to let go of that old script that would have never made you happy ever, and you're able to accept God's plan for your happiness, which cannot fail to satisfy you and make you feel safe.
Yeah, because until you remind yourself that all things are working out.
All changes are helpful.
All
things are working out for good.
Then you're just going to be totally distracted and focused on how you don't see it that way.
On how you were betrayed.
Yeah.
And
you're abandoned.
And you'll be obsessed with your anger. And then you'll totally miss the plan for your happiness that is beyond your wildest dreams of happiness that you never thought of for yourself. It says, but while you like to play with your scripts, you will still perceive your scripts and toys as obeying rules you made for your enjoyment.
Right.
Scripts are something you made up for your enjoyment. Think about that. Scripts are never like, I wonder what would be in the best win-win interest of all involved. That's never your script. No, your scripts are like, I think this should happen for me to have total satisfaction.
I wonder what would be in the best interest of me that's involved.
Yeah, that's what all scripts entail. Your scripts are never like, I wonder what love's plan is for the win-win answer for everyone involved. that is not what your scripts are about. They're always like, how can I be happy? How can I get my needs fulfilled?
That's what scripts are all about.
That's what scripts are all about.
How can this playwright go the way that I directed it?
Yes, exactly. How can I get this play to go as I have scripted it and am directing it? Yeah, so the ego is a complete and total narcissist, by the way, just in case you haven't perceived that yet.
As you reminded us before class started that the Course says I'm the main actor in my
I'm the star of the show.
I'm the star.
Yeah, I'm the director, I'm the star, and I'm the writer, and I'm the producer, honey. You know, that's what our scripts are. I'm the writer, producer, and director. And if you would like to play the part I gave you for what would make me happy, then all right, we can have a relationship.
If not, I can also play the part of the bee.
And I can replace you.
Yeah.
It's like, but like we were saying earlier,
right.
But you never give that person, you know, you're the writer, director, producer of that script, but you never give the script to the actor that you're hiring to say, would you like to play this part? We don't do that. We just go, hey, you fine, no, you fine. So
we can remember that we made these for our enjoyment.
That's right. He says, but while you like to play with your scripts, you still perceive your scripts as obeying rules you made for your enjoyment, which means now within your scripts, there still are laws which your scripts can seem to break and frighten you. As long as you got a script, honey, you are setting it up where that script can break and frighten you. But if you don't have a script, if you're not making up a script, you're like, I just want what God has ordained for everybody. You know, I just want God's plan for my happiness. Then you can't be hurt. Something can't happen where you're frightened. Yeah, you're only frightened when the rules you made up for safety and love seem to be broken.
Trisha was having trouble logging on, but she says, and I agree, Trish. Mm-hmm. Believe her that God has a better script.
Yeah.
That's what we as course students learn. Anna and I are always learning that we could literally, and God has proved it, write down what we think we deserve, what we would like for our happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And
our scripts.
Every single time, what the measure of what God thought we deserved was far greater than our script. It's a much better movie than the movie I had scripted to be involved in.
Absolutely. There's our scripts for what would make us feel safe and loved, and then there's God's plan for our happiness, which cannot fail. Whereas our scripts can only fail, and God's plans for our happiness cannot fail. So you can either go with your script, this is how it should be, or you could say, God, what is your plan for our happiness in this situation? And there's your two options.
And our script is littleness.
And our script is always, if they would change, I'd be happy. You know, if this were different, I'd be happy. That's our scripts. If this were different, I'd be happy. If something that wasn't happening right now or wasn't here right now is here right now, I'd be happy. That's our scripts.
And naturally, when it doesn't happen, we lose our joy.
Exactly. And our scripts are scripts that cannot make us happy and satisfied. Literally. Our script is for disappointment.
Our script, think about it, are literally landmines, not for other people, but when other people step on them, it blows up our joy.
Yes.
It designates our peace. Our scripts hurt us. Yeah. That's what our scripts do. That's why it says, and while you like to play with them, over there playing with TNT explosives,
playing with dolls, playing with blown up children's toys, you know, like, oh, and here the husband does blah blah blah, and the wife says blah blah blah.
And then the popping head, boom, and they're like, ah! It's like, the explosion happens, and then we all freak out. But it's so great to hear that we can laugh.
Yeah, we can laugh.
Remind us, you can laugh at
Okay,
those.
so whenever your scripts don't go as you planned, this says you could laugh. You know, we're like, we get all mad and offended, and we attack, and we get mean. The Course in Miracles says, actually, when things don't go your way, actually, you could laugh.
There's another
hey,
option.
now that would be different.
There's an option to your anger.
That would be different. The Course in Miracles is saying, where you have been feeling endangered and hurt and scared and unsafe and then attacking, you could just laugh and also then experience and accept God's plan for your happiness and safety and security, which could not fail. So that's a thing.
And why? Because are we at the mercy of our toys?
No.
And can a toy represent a threat to the child of God?
Yes.
We made the toy.
A script is a toy.
A script is a toy. That's how the title came out. The
Yes.
toy.
The toys of fear.
Toys of fear.
Toys of fear.
So we made the toy, which is the boundary, the script, the borderline. Don't go past
the limitation,
world, or I'm going to be upset. I'll lose my peace.
Yeah.
And then it does go past there, and we do lose our peace. And for us course students, we're supposed to engage in the remembering of, okay,
this is a good
because I
thing.
lost my peace,
Somehow
I'm wrong.
Right, and somehow this is helpful.
And I can laugh at this.
Somehow,
because
this is helpful.
Yeah, this toy that I made can't threaten me, and it can't hurt me. And with just that knowledge alone, I should be able to say, thank God.
Exactly. That's exactly
limitation
right.
and boundary that I made in our relationship got broke, and it didn't destroy my peace.
Yes.
Wow, my peace has got some strength behind it. It's got some power behind it. It's not. It's my peace is not so vulnerable that it's even subject to my own boundaries that I set up.
Your scripts.
Wow, it goes beyond what I perceived it could be.
Wait a minute. Your safety and your security goes beyond even the scripts that you set up for your safety. Wow.
It's like God's superpower.
Dang. It's like my peace and security is so real and so authentic that you know, this person could leave me, and this thing could leave, and my house could burn down, and whatever, and I would still be happy. I would still be a happy person.
Because admittedly, come on, folks, at least we know, right, that we're naturally going to come up with scripts, because we're just by nature in the world that we're in, you know, my brakes better work on my car for me to be safe. That's part of my script. If my brakes go out, well, my law is just broke.
Well, and Trish's law was, if my mother wasn't driving, I wouldn't need drugs. I love it. So Trish's script was, if my mother wasn't driving, I would feel safe and loved and happy.
Yeah.
Well, we all have them, and I love it how she ends her text with blah.
Yeah.
A big laugh.
Right.
So, you know, our scripts are our blown up children's toys that we think if they just act like we make them act, that we'll be safe and happy. But the truth is that you are not at the mercy of your scripts, your toys. You are not at the mercy of your scripts. Just because your script doesn't work out, doesn't mean that you have lost your security, that you've lost the ability to be happy.
Just because it didn't go your way.
The truth is that because your script did not get fulfilled, you now have a chance at some real happiness. So that's the truth of the matter. It's like, because your script did not get fulfilled, now you have a chance at real happiness. Because now you have a chance to go, God, what is your plan for my happiness? What's your script, God? Right. So, but you don't ask that question until your scripts have failed to make you happy and make you feel safe. That's why so many people don't get spiritual and turn to God until all their hopes and dreams have been smashed into tiny little pieces on the ground. You know, so most people don't come to God, don't come to truth till their fantasies have been demolished and you're on the ground like, I want to die, what's there to live for? Truly. Then people are like, God, oh God, what is your will for my happiness, right? Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't come to God until all their dreams and fantasies and hopes and wishes have been obliterated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't come to God till then. They're like, God, if you're real, you know. God's like, honey, I've been here the whole time, and only now.
I've been helping you out the whole time, despite your complaining.
Exactly, despite
that's what
you
the
thinking.
Israelites were doing, is they were grumbling and complaining.
And despite you
while
thinking
they were
you knew.
being delivered.
Exactly, and so, you know, and so that's why the Course in Miracles says, with every change, with every time your scripts don't get fulfilled, what you should be saying to yourself is, all these changes are helpful because I don't know my own best interest. And as soon as you go, I don't know my own best interest, all these changes are helpful, then all of a sudden now you're able to see that if your plan had stayed, if your script had been fulfilled, you would have never been like open to God's plan for your happiness, which is beyond anything you could have ever dreamed of. So it says, so while you still like to play with your scripts and your toys, you will still perceive your scripts and your toys as obeying the rules you made for your enjoyment. Which means, there still are laws which your scripts can seem to break and frighten you. Yet are you at the mercy of your toys, your scripts? Are you at the mercy of your scripts? Like, is your happiness just as secure as your scripts? Like,
are you a slave to your script that you made? We made a master called a script.
Is your happiness at the mercy of your scripts?
I'll only be happy, master, if you say so.
I'll only be happy if such and such happens the way I think it should happen. Is your happiness at the mercy of your scripts? If it is, then you don't have real happiness. You don't know what real happiness is.
You have limited happiness.
Exactly. Which means, can your scripts represent a threat to you, really? You know, like, I can only be safe if everything goes my way. Is that true? Is that true that you can only be safe and happy if everything goes your way?
Have you any evidence of past experiences in life where it didn't go your way, but yet
it was for the best?
You realize how
later.
it actually was for the best later.
It meant a lot. I have so many of that. That's the main experience I've had. Like, oh my God, thank God it went like that, or else I wouldn't have this. You know, literally, I don't have any things in my life where I'm like, oh, if only that had gone differently, how my life would be great. I don't have one of those.
You look back and go, could you imagine if I was still at that job working at that company?
Can you imagine if I was still with that person?
Fired,
oh my God.
That guy hadn't have said what he said to get me fired.
Exactly.
And told that lie.
And
I was like, he's lied about me. It's not that I got fired, it's the principle of it. I didn't do that. And so your boundaries are, your script is, you can't lie about me.
But if that person
fired can't be in my best
But
interest.
if you hadn't been fired, if that person hadn't lied about you,
wouldn't be working at this.
You wouldn't be where you're at right now.
Life and living where you're at and being that you know of now. If I was back at that place, I'd be miserable.
Exactly.
I was miserable when I was there 10 years ago.
Which lets you know that you have scripts for your happiness which are false. They are not true, and they will not make you happy. You can look back at your past and see that many times over. So
God delivered you from a work environment of people who lied and didn't appreciate you to an environment now where people appreciate you, wouldn't think of lying, and treat you as a friend and comrade.
Amen to that. And you wouldn't be able to experience this unless if that hadn't happened.
But while it was happening, you didn't understand it, even though it seemed like a tornado.
Exactly.
Or,
even though to you it seemed like a disaster.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like you were abandoned or betrayed. Like, oh my God, I was abandoned and betrayed by that person. No, you were saved. And that, when you have correct perception, you'll be like, every script that did not get fulfilled, that I was pissed off about and attacked for, literally saved me.
Yeah.
That's what you will see and understand when you have correct perception. You know, you'll be thanking God that your scripts did not get fulfilled, that somebody broke your script. You'll be like, thank you, God, they broke my script.
Right.
You know, but, you know, that's what you will be coming to, and that's what A Course in Miracles is helping us to understand, so that next time your script gets broken, you don't attack. You know, it's like when your script doesn't get fulfilled, which it will, do not attack. Do not, I can't believe you hurt me.
Thanks for saying that, because I wanted to say that earlier. One of the reasons for the script, the ego wants us to create it, is what it creates is a extremely strong temptation now to attack.
Yes.
When my script doesn't go the way that I agreed that it needs to be, with
that I wrote it,
the ego whispers in my ear, your bank account needs to be at this, and then it's not at that. Well, now I'm very tempted, as you said, to give attack, and that's the whole goal of the ego. The ego, we were talking last week while we were reading, the ego wants to attack the child of God.
The ego's one goal.
And the ego can't attack us. The ego can't just come out and have a boxing war with us and punch us in the face and knock us down. The only way, think about this as so much the truth in our face, the only way the ego can attack us is to get us, think how insane this is, to attack another, to give attack, and then knowing that by our giving attack, we're requesting attack back into our experience. So the only way we can be attacked is the ego has to convince us to give attack. And so when things don't go our way, it's another great trap. It's a bear trap that the ego made of a temptation now to give attack. As you were saying, just right there, is now that I've given attack, now because my rule is broken, I gave the attack, and now attack's going to come back into my experience. I'm going to get attacked in some form or some way because that's what I gave. And I only gave it because I set the trap myself of my boundary was broke. And now I'm going to attack the world for it and receive what I gave back.
Yeah, and that's the vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's like it said, and we're stopping here, but like it said in paragraph 1, sentence 1, you will attack what does not satisfy. And when you attack what doesn't satisfy, you will not see that you made up what didn't satisfy you. And what we made up that doesn't satisfy us is the script for how it should go. Right. So if you attack when somebody breaks your script for how it should go for you to be safe and happy, if you attack them, you'll never see you made up that false script for safety and security. And so you'll never be able to realize, well, what is real safety and security? Oh, it's knowing the truth about myself. It's knowing reality. So if you attack what doesn't satisfy you, if you attack when your script for safety and happiness doesn't get fulfilled, you'll never see that it was a false plan. That you'll never know the truth. And you'll never learn what really does make you safe and happy.
You keep the truth hidden.
Exactly. And the truth is that your safety and your security and your love and your worth and your value comes from knowing the truth about yourself, not getting other people to act the way you think they should. So.
Beautiful.
All right. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Dance around the table here real quick.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all so very much. If you want to support this Miracles ministry, then you can either like, share, and subscribe if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, or you could share it onto your Facebook stream. That's a great way to strengthen these ideas out in the world and to support this ministry. And we thank you so much for using your very precious and valuable time to join this healing circle.
Tricia said, missed you, Anna. And Tricia and I were really wishing you were in our reading together when we were reading.
I love that.
But she also says, I love this, Don't be an angry eagle.
I love it. Don't be an angry eagle. Yes, and I love what she says here. She goes, I was but a bug on a windshield wiper. Divine saved me.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, I was just a victim to how everybody broke my scripts.
Yep.
But divine, which means truth, saved me from that. And I love that. It's the truth and divine saved me from being an angry victim. You know, from scripts I set up. So thank you, God. Love you all. Love you all so much.